Welcome back. Now, our next story is about food. More specifically, about the politicization of food. The BJP has been doing it since they came to power in 2014. You may remember their decision to ban cattle slaughter and beef, and it led to a massive backlash across the country, with some universities also hosting beef festivals to protest the ban. Most BJP-ruled states have been cracking down on slaughterhouses. They are asking people to shift away from eating beef and perhaps change their food habits at that. But in Meghalaya, it's the opposite. The BJP state president in Meghalaya says he himself eats beef and it's part of the local culture. We call this food policing hypocrisy. In the Hindi heartland and in South India, the BJP wants people to abandon beef, but in Meghalaya, the BJP says it's part of the culture. These comments must be seen in the broader context of what's happening in the northeast. Meghalaya is heading to polls later this month. And the BJP's biggest face in the northeast, Himanta Biswa Sarma, is a strong anti-beef crusader. Let's take a listen to what the dichotomy of both the leaders are concerned.
Slaughter can take place or sale purchase of beef can take place within 5 years radius of any temple and monastery. Also 5-kilometer radius of any monastery and temple. Also, wherever there are substantial non-beef eating people are there, mainly Hindu, Sikhs, Buddha, Jains peoples are there, in that locality, even if there are Muslim people, they will not consume beef.
The party has not given any direction that you should not take it. They never say. You see, here in Meghalaya, particularly, in Khasi Jaintia, even in Galois, people they have the beef like not now, 100 years before also. So the party will not interfere your living style of eating. It's your lifestyle. You want to have any dish is your liberty.
And joining me now is Mr. Ernest Mori, the BJP's state president in Meghalaya. Appreciate you joining us here, Mr. Mori, and taking out time to talk to us. Now, the BJP has spoken about how beef should not be consumed. States like Uttar Pradesh have a crackdown on eating and transporting beef. But in Meghalaya, the BJP is okay with it. Why is there a double standard?
You see, I'm in BJP for a long time. There is no such rule or law imposed that being a member of BJP, they have not interfered about my food habit. So, you know, in the Northeast state, everybody have a beef, have pork, chicken, fish, and others thing. So here, I think it is the state subject. It is not the BJP from central government. Here, the BJP, they don't interfere us about our food habit. No one told me till today that you don't have beef or you don't have pork. In Northeast, everybody, we are having different type of dish and we are having different type of meat. So there is no ban for us. I think it is just election propaganda by some party. There is no issue here in the Northeast, especially in Meghalaya, about the beef issue.
You say there is no issue in Meghalaya, but the BJP stand in the other state is very different, sir. Because people who are in possession of beef have been targeted in states like Uttar Pradesh, and this is an issue which will impact Meghalaya since this is a Christian-dominated state. Are the people scared that if BJP comes to power, their food habits will be threatened?
No, nothing like that. BJP stand for everybody. We respect the secularism and the democracy. There is no caste, no creed, no religion. This is all the propaganda during election by some political party. But I'm telling you, we have several meetings with our central leader I never heard that they impose such kind of draconian law that you should have this food habit, that food habit. Even our leaders also, yeah, some of them they are pure veg, some of them they are non-veg. It is not restricted. I have not seen.
And finally, sir, do you believe that food is one's own choice and no political leader should have a say in it?
Right, exactly. It is our liberty, it is our choice. What to have, what not to have.
And I'm joined by our esteemed panel of guests at this point in time here at the Urban Debate to discuss this further. I am joined by Dilip Cherian, who is the founder of Perfect Relations. I'm joined by Mithun Vijay Kumar, who is a political analyst, and Kamruzaman Chowdhury, who is also a political analyst. A very good evening to all of you, and thank you for joining us here at the Urban Debate. My first question, of course, would go across to Mr. Cherian. Mr. Cherian, how are you looking at this double speak, if I can call it so? Because it seems to be different strokes for different folks. When it suits the BJP, then of course all is well, Changasi. But if it doesn't suit the BJP, then of course there's going to be draconian laws. That is going to be the need of the hour in places like Madhya Pradesh and Uttar Pradesh, where they have come down heavily against those people who eat beef, consume beef, transport beef, or even has a suspicion of being a beef eater. But all is well in Meghalaya, Nagaland and Goa.
Indeed, Samia, it's different fingers for different foods, it seems. The problem is of parties trying to intervene with our tongue. The right to speak and the right to eat must never be interfered with by any political party. I'm awed by what Mr. Maury said. If indeed he's able to represent his part of the party in his part of the world, that is a huge, huge success for both the BJP and for India. We need to understand that in many parts of the country, the choice of meats is a completely wider choice than just eating chicken or goat. The idea is that why should political parties have a business of what goes into our mouths or what comes out of our mouths, as long as it does not insult or hurt somebody. And I think that that's the basis on which this country has grown and succeeded. And that is why we have such a fabulous culinary tradition, which the world looks at with awe. So more power to people like Maury, and more power to people who are able to understand the distinction between politics and the plate.
Absolutely. Very well put, Mr. Cherian. But it's not the BJP that we can actually hold accountable over here. It was only a statement of Congress leaders in Karnataka who also have started peeping into what you eat, peeping into the food bowl of the people. But this is something to do with the elections, Mr. Cherian. There's elections coming up in Karnataka, elections coming up in Meghalaya, and thus everything that you must do become a business of a neta or a politician. There is no space that is granted to be a personal space for personal choices that you make of what you eat, what you wear, what you drink. Everything becomes the business of the netas and political parties, it appears, ahead of the elections. So do you think there should be a basic understanding to bring about some semblance about this is where you draw the line, this is the border area, and what I put in my mouth is not going to define my political affiliation or who I'm going to vote?
Samia, I think that it needs to go beyond the borders. I think it needs to be an ethic across all parties that they should not try and change people's food habits or their clothing habits or their speaking habits. The fact is that as far as people are concerned, we are a melting pot of a country. Let's recognize that, and let's understand that from tribals to castes to creeds, we have huge differences across the country. And that is what makes us unique. And parties need to respect that, recognize that, and actually harness that. Not this way. And I really think that this only shows that these 3 months before elections is when everybody wants to make a point to try and win brownie points, but the people are actually not so happy about it. And politicians must recognize that part of the reason why their image is so shattered in this country is because they resort to such cheap thrills, as it were, to try and get a few more votes.
It is a case of cheap thrills, Mr. Dilip Cherian. Let me take a question across to Mr. Mithun Vijay Kumar, who's a political analyst joining us here at the debate as well. Mr. Vijay Kumar, you know what Mr. Cherian was saying is that the politicians at large, irrespective of which political party they may be, must desist from having a say that they are coming from a position of power where they can decide what one should eat, what one should drink, or who one should even get married to. Like we were discussing love jihad yesterday. Why does the BJP feel that this is their space to try and intrude into somebody's platter?
Can you hear me now?
Mr. Vijay Kumar, request you to kindly unmute yourself.
Can you hear me now? Hello?
Yes, please go ahead.
Yes.
Yes,
okay.
please go ahead.
See, one thing I would like to say is that no political party will ever survive if it doesn't align with the cultural practices of a region. Now, this statement from the BJP chief in Meghalaya must be, in fact, appreciated and not criticized, or maybe the controversy that is going on now. It shouldn't be there because it shows BJP's openness to different cultures, is what I understand. And see, any government, be BJP or Congress or any regional party, they must respect the culture of the land. And I believe no political leader should have a say in the food habits of people. But it was, in fact, Mahatma Gandhi's vision to ensure the protection of cows. And there was even a tussle between, Dr. Rajendra Prasad and PM Nehru when Dr. Rajendra Prasad wanted to introduce a bill and fulfill Mahatma Gandhi's vision. So, and another thing that I would like to say is it's, first of all, a state subject. And there is nothing that BJP has to do with this whole beef thing that is going on. And if you quote UP, if you want to take a reference to UP, it was Dr. Sampurna Anand, the chief minister, who brought the law to ban cow slaughter, and there was no BJP at that time. So we need to understand that the cow slaughter or the animal protection laws, it's a state subject, and each state has their say in this. And now you see the Punjab Prohibition of Cow Slaughter Act 1955 is followed by Haryana, Himachal, and Punjab. And in Maharashtra, it was actually introduced by the Congress with the Maharashtra Animal Preservation Act, with an amendment to the Maharashtra Animal Preservation Act. And there are many states that follow law which is nothing to do with BJP, or that law was introduced at a time when BJP was not even there in picture. So why are we creating a controversy involving BJP is what I cannot understand. If at all we have to criticize, and we have to look back into the law that deals with animal protection. And BJP is not a Hindu-only party, and it would be practically impossible for BJP to take a position that its members should not eat beef, because it's the biggest political party in the world in terms of members, and they have members belonging to every religion.
Mr. Kamruzaman Chowdhury, what do you think about what Mr. Vijay Kumar has to say, that BJP has got no beef with what your eating habits may be?
Well, Samia, I can't just laugh at the hypocrisy of the BJP spokesperson out here. Basically, you must understand the geopolitical situation of the Northeast in context to the mainland India, as we call it. NDTP is in alliance with the BJP in Nagaland right now. In Meghalaya, it is in alliance with Conrad Sangma's party. BJP is a very minor partner out there. Now let me take you to Assam, where Himanta Biswa Sharma has been successful to bring back BJP government for the second time. A BJP government in absolute majority is there in Assam. Now, what did Assam do? They bought a beef ban, or the Slaughter of Animals or the Slaughter of Cows Act 2022, I suppose, or 21, wherein it is written out there that anybody slaughtering a cow within 5-kilometer radius of a temple. Now, I repeat, within 5-kilometer radius of a temple. Samia, as it is, you walk down the street, it's very natural in India that every 200 to 300 meters we'll find a temple, a masjid, or a gurdwara, or a church, because we are a very spiritual nation. Now, don't you think that by this law, the entire beef has been banned from the state of Assam? Now, you don't take into consideration, you speak galore about the eating habits of the tribals of Meghalaya and Nagaland. But what about those tribals like Garos, the Khasis, the Jaintias, the NC Hills tribals, who themselves are Christians in majority, and they love to eat the cheapest source of protein? Now, this is a stated policy of the BJP and the RSS that they want to impose a one nation, one culture across the breadth and length and breadth of India. So you just have to wait and see when they come to power in Meghalaya and Nagaland, if absolute majority if they get, then the first thing will be to discourage the eating of beef out there. And then you will be questioning me, then why is BJP winning in those Christian states? It's the simple reason of a money bag politics that goes out in the Northeast. It hardly matters what the stated ideological position of the BJP or the other regional parties are, as long as BJP pays these regional parties, as long as it's game for all. So it hardly matters that what's their stated position in a particular beef or cow slaughter cases are. But ultimately, it will all depend on the RSS, which has already captured Assam as a experiment, as a next experimental laboratory. And I'm sure in the coming days, if they are able to win Meghalaya and Nagaland, RSS will be starting to project both of these as another laboratory for the RSS game plan. That is one nation, one culture, one language, that is Hindi, Hindutva, and Hindustan.
Vijay Kumar, you just heard what Mr. Chowdhury had to say. Do you agree with him? Because he is citing what the Assam Chief Minister, Himanta Biswa Sarma, had to say, and there's practically no beef that is available in Assam, and perhaps that is the modus operandi of the BJP for the Northeast. But in states that are going to elections right now, like Meghalaya and Nagaland, they have a different stance that they take, perhaps to try and not really put across the agenda before the elections. Or is the BJP going to be listening to what the people have to say? Because I don't even want to go down the line to try and mention the number of lynching cases that took place in the country in the suspicion of beef position, is because that is the sentiment by and large that has been propagated by the BJP and its lawmakers.
Is the question to me? Hello?
Yes, Mr. Vijay Kumar, please go ahead with your views.
Your voice is breaking in between, yeah. Okay, so the person who spoke earlier, I want to ask him, like he said he wants to laugh at my hypocrisy, but like what's his vision? What does he have to say on the vision on of Mahatma Gandhi's vision? What has he got to say on Mahatma Gandhi's vision on cow slaughter? Because it was actually proposed much before even BJP came into existence, is what I can understand. And what's his view on Article 48 of the Constitution that says that the state shall take steps for prohibiting the slaughter of cows and calves and other draught cattle. So this is a state subject, and the law that is prevalent is not something that is fresh. It has been there from many ages, I could say. It has been there from decades. And why is that?
Okay, Mr. Chowdhury has to make some concluding remarks. I'll give him that chance to make that concluding remarks. He wants to react to you, Mr. Vijay Kumar. Mr. Chowdhury, please go ahead with your views.
Basically, Samia, the basic point that is missing out there is that the law has been existing for, I think, 50, 60 years and more than that.
Criticize the law. Don't loop in BJP into
this. Wait. Let me finish, sir. This is not a meme debate. Let us debate on the points, if at all you have any. First and foremost, Samia, the point is that the law has been there already. We all respect the religious sentiments of the majority community of the country. So it is there out there. But what happened right now of the last few years has been the vigilante groups sponsored by the state, which are going rampant across the country in killing or even in in lynching people over the cow. You take the classic example of Junaid, who was lynched just for cooking meat in his house. This is the cheapest source of protein in the country. Okay, you have got a problem with the beef eating people in the country. It is fine. But then can you distinguish?
Okay, Mr. Chowdhury, I will have to interject over there. I have paucity of time, but I thank both Mithun Vijay Kumar and Kamruzaman Chowdhury for joining us here and taking out time to discuss this very important subject that we were debating today at the Urban Debate. As far as what you eat, what's there on your plate is not the job or the business of any political party or neta, and we leave you with that thought to chew on. And our shifting focus